Hey, senoritas, I got some old crazy news for y'all. These Chicago police officers got caught hustling for the cartel. They got Chicago looking like Nicaragua out there. It's gonna be hard to get rid of immigrants when you got immigrants working in the police force. And on top of that, we don't know how many of these police officers in Chicago is working for the cartel.
The indictment named Chicago police officer Kevin Rodriguez and an accomplice, Diego Valdez, charging the duo for conspiring to unlawfully purchase firearms that were ultimately smuggled into Mexico.
A 9-page federal indictment unsealed Tuesday in federal court accuses Kevin Rodriguez of using his position as a Chicago police officer to purchase an AR-15 style assault rifle in Dyer, Indiana, and a handgun in Monee. Prosecutors allege Rodriguez lied on federal paperwork, saying he was the actual buyer of the firearms, all in an effort to purchase guns which are not available to ordinary citizens under Illinois law. Instead, prosecutors say Rodriguez purchased them for Diego Valdez, an accomplice who allegedly identified the weapons he wanted and then paid Rodriguez to purchase them.
There's a reason why these guns are limited in circulation or for sale. There's a reason why a Chicago police officer can use his status only for appropriate purposes. He's abusing that here.
The indictment states Valdez sent thousands of dollars in Zelle transfers to Rodriguez in return for purchasing the guns on Valdez's behalf. 2 months after the transactions, Valdez is accused of smuggling the guns into Mexico. Meanwhile, a search of Rodriguez's record as a Chicago cop shows he's been the subject of at least 9 misconduct complaints since joining the force in 2019, according to the Office of the Inspector General. One of those complaints stemming from improper pursuit of a suspect in 2022, resulting in a 4-day suspension.
We're seeing, again, if true, a conduct that's more serious than anything I'm sure he's been accused of before.
In response to his indictment, Chicago police say Rodriguez was immediately placed on no-pay status, but that his police powers were suspended on July 3rd. The statement from CPD also reads, "The Chicago Police Department has no tolerance for criminal actions by any of our members. The alleged actions of this one police officer do not represent the life-saving work being done by our department."
Both Rodriguez and Valdez pleaded not guilty and were released. We reached out to attorneys for both men. Attorneys for Rodriguez did not get back to us, while Valdez's representation declined to comment. A status hearing is set for October 8th.
I want to send so much love to my Mexican Americans out there. I don't know what we would do without y'all. And one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch unless he got a badge. And this man definitely was working for the police while doing some very criminal things. Now American people don't know who to trust. They need to do a collard green test. If you ain't willing to eat that cornbread in 2.2 seconds, you need to go back to your home country. And on top of that, they got girls out there selling that WAP on the street. People can't even get to work because there's so much prostitution traffic out there in Chicago.
Say they are tired of this drive-through service.
It starts at night. It goes well into the morning, early morning. Prostitution on full display in 2 Chicago wards.
And tonight, residents are calling for change. Tia is here with the video and the story behind this. Tia.
Well, we actually got this video in July of this year. Residents were complaining about this, and now we're hearing from community activists on this very issue. It all started with that email. A frustrated resident told me she finally had enough. The video she sent shows prostitutes standing right in front of her home, brake lights from cars lighting up the block like the red light district, left behind for all to see, condoms, and a whole lot more.
Wait, was that 5 in the morning, dude? It's 5 in the morning. Block looks like a drive-through.
And the reason why we blurred that video is because the woman, she has nothing on but a pair of shoes. Not even 24 hours ago, a resident in the community of Garfield Ridge sent us a similar video. It shows prostitution actively taking place in Archer Heights and the Sleepy Hollow area too. This activity spans across the 22nd and the 23rd wards. Residents say it's been happening for months there, specifically along Cicero Avenue between 47th Street and Archer Avenue across a 5-block stretch. This is all in close proximity to Midway Airport. Maybe you've seen it on your way out of town. Residents claim this is a lucrative operation running openly while city officials in Chicago turn a blind eye, and pimps sit nearby to collect the profits.
They're picking up young girls from wherever they're getting them, and they're prostituting them on the streets. And this looks like a traffic highway between 11:30 to 5:30 in the morning. You can't even get in the alley to park your cars. So we're asking for the politicians, when you want our vote, like he said, you're out here and you're pacing the streets. Can you please be out here pacing the streets now? I understand that we don't have a lot of police, but I do understand we could get a couple police officers here to help us.
Now, we did get two statements from both alders. The first one from the 22nd Ward, Alderman Michael Rodriguez says, "We have taken decisive action. Working alongside the Chicago Police Department, we have prioritized increased enforcement in the area, making this issue the #1 public safety focus for the local police district. In addition, we have brought in the county sheriff's office to provide additional resources and support on the ground." Alderwoman Silvana Tabarez of the 23rd Ward says, and she acknowledged this in her statement, that prostitution is a major issue along the Cicero corridor, saying additionally, we have coordinated with local civic organizations and city agencies to increase lighting, install additional cameras, and hold businesses accountable who allow solicitation on their premises. While others elected officials have attempted to overlook the issue, even pushing for legalized prostitution, this activity is not tolerated in the 23rd Ward. Now, you heard it there. City leaders claim enforcement is underway. Now, residents tell us they will be looking for proof, not promises. Of course, this is a story we will continue to follow. Terrence?
All right, Tia, thank you.
This ain't nothing but a shame. Now they rounding up people like M&Ms that fell out of a bag. I don't think nobody deserved to be hauled off like the way they hauling off the immigrants in America. But you figure if you doing something illegal, your ass just illegal. If you breaking the law, you breaking the law. But at the same time, they need to make living affordable for everybody and make it to where illegal people can come over and be legal if they willing. With all these illegals in the police force, they gonna need ice for ice. That's why them immigrants ain't trying to be arrested by nobody unless they vanilla ice, because any other type of ice might be just as illegal as them. Y'all need to look at how they snatching people up off the street like dogs.
And we are now in week 2 of the official Operation Midway Blitz. Let's bring in political reporter Paris Schutz now.
Yeah, Paris, tell us about what we've been experiencing. Do we know how many people have been detained as a result?
According to the Department of Homeland Security, they're saying that Operation Midway Blitz, since it launched about 2 weeks ago, has detained over 400 folks, although an AP article just came out said it was more like 550. Now, they've claimed that they are targeting violent criminals, although we know from reporting they accidentally detained a U.S. citizen near Elgin and let him go last week, and shot and killed an undocumented immigrant, Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, in Franklin Park about 10 days ago. They say had a history of reckless driving. Now, today, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin says he's not necessarily buying the official numbers.
Fewer than 30% of those who've been arrested have any kind of criminal background whatsoever. So 70% of the people who are being detained have no criminal record. The president can rant about rapists and murderers and terrorists and criminally insane people coming in as immigrants, but those who are being arrested don't have any indication of that behavior. So if we're going to make America safe, let's put the resources into stopping criminals.
And the comments come after several days of clashes, as you saw, between a handful of protesters and ICE and Border Patrol agents. A spokeswoman for the Department of Homeland Security blamed the actions and rhetoric of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker as escalating these tense situations.
It is incumbent upon J.B. Pritzker, Mayor Brandon Johnson to turn down the rhetoric, because they are repeating and really turning to violence. You see them really depraved individuals who are being held in this processing facility. Why do they want them out? Why do they want them released? It makes no sense, and you're just putting Chicago residents in further danger.
I don't know what's going to happen in America, but I'm hoping that it's going to be something good. They need to be more honest about their background checks, because they be letting people slip through the cracks like they don't know what's going on. And then when they want to get rid of somebody, that's when they want to bring in all the legalities and things. They need to be up front. Let a person know that you interested in where they was born. You want to know their Instagram, if they got a YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever. Be upfront with the people, because people getting fired because of tweets and comments they leaving on social media. They need to let people know that, hey, we watching everything you do, so make sure you don't do nothing stupid or try nothing stupid, because we know who you are. But they want to wait till they can use it in their own benefit, then go snatch somebody up after they done made some company billions of dollars with their label. And on top of that, they got a most wanted list in Chicago, and a lot of people about to go down.
As the FBI says, the work is not done.
The agency's local field office is sharing its Chicago's most wanted list. WGN's Courtney Spinelli says it wants to call attention to cases with suspects still on the run.
Show me your hands. Get off the ground. Do it now.
A 23-year-old wanted in a murder in South suburban Riverdale, recently caught nearly 3 hours away in Menasha, Wisconsin. Calvin Hutchinson among 7 other fugitives landing themselves on the Chicago Most Wanted list.
Do it now. Echo 18, we got 2 at gunpoint. What's going on?
The FBI Chicago says it worked with local, state, and federal agencies to identify and track down wanted criminals deemed most dangerous as part of Operation Summer Heat. 25 people were caught during the 4-day op, but 8 others, now 7 with Hutchinson's arrest, were still on the run.
So the thought is that we can put them together and kind of focus our efforts, focus the public's efforts and resources as well on trying to identify or trying to apprehend these 7 individuals.
Supervisory Special Agents Jeremy Reesar and Michael Goldberg say the fugitives, many who have lengthy criminal records, are considered a threat to public safety.
And the sooner that we can work together to get them off of the streets and into custody, the safer that our neighborhoods will be.
Tracking down Hutchinson involved a handful of agencies, not uncommon for the FBI given how often suspects flee the state and country.
We were able to come up with the plan of what's called an open air takedown, where the officers basically converged on them from all sides.
The others on the list represent cases still haunting communities, families still yearning for justice. Loved ones of murdered National Guard member Chris Carvajal included.
It is hard every single day. I never give up.
The 19-year-old was gunned down in the city's Belmont-Cragen neighborhood in 2021 while leaving a party. Alleged gang member Joseph Matos and an accomplice are accused of killing Carvajal to keep and increase their status in a Northside gang. Matos is still in the wind as Carvajal's family has pleaded to the public for help in the years since.
We need our community to come together and do the right thing now that there is a face to the case. You have seen this person before.
The FBI says the same goes for others, including Aaron Barcenas and Julio Bernal. They're charged with first-degree murder in the drive-by shooting of 14-year-old Eric Alfaro in unincorporated Elk Grove Township in 2022. Gary Llewellyn is wanted on federal charges in a violent 2023 carjacking on the far south side. Antonio Stigler accused of murdering a pregnant woman in Riverdale in 2024. Nesta Gray charged in the murder of a 16-year-old boy found shot in the back of his head in a Cook County Forest Preserve in 2022. Giovanni Portillo is accused of shooting a man outside of a Naperville restaurant in an alleged gang dispute. The FBI and other agencies involved hoping to eliminate the rest of this list with the help of anyone who knows where they may be hiding.
Hands behind your back!
Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
Lord have mercy. I'm praying for America. God bless America. I love this country. I hate to see it go to hell because you got so many people out here breaking the law. They need to give a bonus to the people out there that ain't never broke the law. People that pay their taxes, pay their rent and mortgage on time, pay their utility bills on time. People need to be rewarded for doing the right thing, because you got a lot of people doing illegal things and they living like kings and queens out here. Something got to give. I can understand why they want to crack down on people that been getting over on the system, but what about the people that ain't been getting over on the system? What about the model citizens out there? People need to receive some type of benefits for being goody two-shoes and abiding the law, because ain't nothing wrong with that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. How y'all feel about them dirty cops in Chicago. You get pulled over by somebody that got yak and weed on their breath. Then they got the nerve to call for backup. They pull up looking and smelling like they just left the strip club. That ain't right. Let me know how y'all feel about this, man. One more thing before I go. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up.